caught Ajay Lakhotia updating his portfolio before the budget. So we grilled him to reveal everything he knows about the union budget. Are you also anxious about the stocks ahead of February 1st? Then watch out this video till the end. So Ajay, we heard that the budget means nothing for a common man. Is it true?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. Not at all. Think about this. What are the three most important things in our life? 1, roti, 2, kapda, 3, makan, and then there are more important things. Instagram profile, number of followers, number of likes, correct? So anything that impacts this should be important to us. With the budget, all the influencers will now be putting out posts, then the count will increase, then the number of followers will increase. But let's look at the reality. Budget also influences everything from how much we pay for our grocery, for our car, for our travel, to how much taxes we pay, and more importantly, how much subsidies does each and every industry gets. Think of it like this. The petrol price, when it increases by just 10 rupees, there's so much of hue and cry out there because the media loves to talk about it. How much petrol do you really consume in a year? 100 liters? 200 liters? An increase by 10 bucks would impact how much? 200 liters into 10 rupees, that's about 2000 rupees in a year, correct? Now, think of this. If your car price increases by just 10%, that is, a 10 lakh rupee car will cost you now 11 lakh rupees, the impact is 1 lakh rupee on your budget. But we don't even register this on our mind, hai na? So this is actually very important for every common man to understand what's the impact of the budget on them.
Okay, then what really is the budget?
Okay, think of the Indian government as the largest venture capitalist deciding where to invest the capital for long term. In fact, it is actually the largest investor in the economy, redistributing the capital to the right sectors for economic growth. In short, every year the government plans its financial goals by trying to balance its income and expenses, or let's call it income and investments. By the way, do you also plan your income and balance it with long-term investments? Okay, so what we'll do is we will actually teach you how to do that on StockGro much before the budget is announced.
Well, in that case, is the government usually successful at such balancing?
It's a very good question. Let's first understand what are the government's sources of income and expenditure or investments. For every 100 rupee that the government earns, about 30 comes from income tax, another 30 comes from borrowings, 28 comes from GST, and about 12 from all the other sources. From this, 18% goes to states for planning their expenses, 20% goes on interest repayments on the borrowing that government has done, and 17% is what is left with central government for their own schemes. What are central government schemes? Defense, aerospace, infrastructure, largely other central government schemes. Education, electricity, agri falls under the state government schemes, though there would be a lot of crossovers.
Well, that seems like a lot more spending than earning.
That is true, right? In fact, most of the fast-growing economies like India, the revenue is often less than the expenditure, leading to what we call deficit situation. Or in our startup language, we call it the cash burn at end of the year. That is, your spend is more than the income. But in recent years, the government has done an excellent job in reducing this deficit, reaching almost a break-even. For example, the revenue deficit now is 2.9% versus 4.1% about a year back.
But Ajay, how did the government manage that?
Okay, this is very interesting. You know, the Indian government provided impetus to both public and private sector enterprises, increasing both their revenue and profitability, and in turn, it increased the tax collection for the government. If I have to give you the statistics, 2012, before Modi government, our GDP was about $1.8 trillion. That's it. And in just about 10 years, 2022, our GDP has grown to about $3.3 trillion. It's like 2x growth in less than a decade. Very interestingly, another figure for you, the foreign reserves was $290 billion in 2012, and it has grown to more than $600 billion by 2022. It's a huge growth.
Okay, but I still don't get what I should really be tracking in this budget.
अच्छा ठीक है समझाता हूँ. First and foremost, tax reforms. any changes in the slabs of the tax rate, which would have direct impact: one, saving; second, investment; third, your own spending patterns. Secondly, we should very closely track the saving schemes which are announced by government. The Mahila Samman Saving Certificate, which was announced last year, gave women 7.5% interest rate on their savings. Next, you must watch out for any changes in the GST rates, which may make some of our pending purchases more expensive. Say for an example, electronics, car, travel. But more importantly, track the sectors which the government is trying to promote through incentives or subsidies, because this is where all our investment opportunities are hidden.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work. I wish someone could do it for me.
Well, you are actually in luck, because StockGro and Mint is already doing it for you. We are making the budget insight so simple that every common man and every common woman would be able to relate to it, use it for their benefits. And then you know what is more important? You have to do the analysis of the sectors, pick your stocks, test your strategies, and you can actually do it on StockGro app without paying any cost.
Cool. Come on now. Don't be so secretive. Tell us which sectors you're bullish about ahead of the budget.
Fine, I'll share some secrets, but on one single condition. You'll have to honestly build your virtual portfolio on StockGro and share it with your friends. Now, almost a year back, the Railway Minister at a media event presented the transformational plan and detailed roadmap for railways, IRCTC. It depicted how the railway stations are going to transform, how the services are going to evolve, and that is when I realized how big this is gonna become, how much revenue this could generate. I also figured this out, and almost everyone knows it. This is a monopoly business transforming to become a super profitable sector in itself. I'll give you numbers which are gonna blow off your mind. IRCTC stocks have grown by 2.5 times, 2.5x, 250% in last 3 years, along with Railway Vikas Nigam, which has grown by, can you guess the number? 900%, 9x in just 3 years. In fact, guys, you know what? I actually bought Railway Vikas Nigam in my StockGro portfolio just about 2 weeks back, and I'm very curious. Did I make some return on it? Okay, this is unbelievable. I've made more than 44% return in just about 2 weeks, and I'm happy to share my StockGro portfolio with you guys. Okay folks, here's one more very interesting hint. Government indicated higher spend in defense capabilities, and the defense stocks like HAL have grown by more than 110% in less than 2 years. Guys, I've already added the stocks to my portfolio, and you have to keep your promise, build your winning portfolio and share it with your friends.
Amazing. I've got some ideas to test too. Downloading the app right now.
Now don't wait for the budget to be announced. Go back, analyze the sectors, the stock, what should happen when the budget comes out. Figure out your winning stocks, put it in your StockGro portfolio and be ready for year 2024.